Okay, we are on Keilim Perkei Mishnah Aleph. We now turn our attention. We're done with the regular vessels, the regular Keilim, and the jugs and the kadim and the different kind of wine, whatevers. Now we're going to be on tanur, different kinds of ovens, heating vessels, heating implements. Okay, so in order to understand heating implements, we really have to just, first of all, Rabbi Posen is a beautiful sort of like long thing, an introduction about how they were made. So they were these conical vessels, and they were open at the top. The way they would do it, have you ever been like to one of these like shawarma stores in Israel where they like take the dough and they strip it on the side of the oven? That's really how they would have these ovens. I found on Wikipedia. Let me see if I can find that picture. Yeah, brood oven. Right. This is the idea. This is called a tanur from, I guess, Turkey or something like that. Right. And you can see down here. This is where they stuck in the fuel. And it's open at the top. This is a much more modern version, but if you want to see like the way Rav Posen writes it, the way he draws it, right? This is an outer. This was the klicheres, okay? The klicheres was the inner conical thing, and they would fill it on the outside with dirt and mud for insulation, because the more insulated it was, the less fuel. And if you have to pay for every piece of wood or collect every piece of wood, you want to have as much insulation as you possibly can. And they would stick that in. That was the entrance on the bottom. Okay, we're going to see. There were openings. You see, like this is exactly how he shows it. You would stick by the way, that was the redidata part, I think, in Shabbat. That was one of the malachot of removing the pot, the bread from the oven. Okay, so this is our oven, and so the Mishnah wants to know what's the minimum size oven in order for it to be mikabel tuma. Says the Mishnah, tanur tchilato arba'a. Okay, a tanur tchilato arba'a. Stam tanur. It's like a big pot that has no bottom. Okay? You connect it with mud on the floor. Okay? And the bottom, the floor is the bottom, even though it has no beit kibul, nonetheless, it's still makabel tuma because that's the way it's made. The minimum height of a tanur is 4 tfachim. Ushiyarav arba'a. If it was higher than that, and you cut it off, it got broken, the minimum height for it to still be tameh, okay, is arba'ah. Okay, it's lo taher ad shelo yu b'shibarav arba'ah. If it's less than 4, according to Rabbi Meir, then it's no longer makabel tuma. The Chachamim say, bemed dvarim amurim. When is that true? Begadol. That's if it's a big oven. Aval bekatan, but with a small oven, it's not a toaster oven. We'll see what it is in a second. Tchilato kolshu. Its beginning is any size. Ushiarav rubo, and it's with shiarav, and if it's left, whatever's left over, if it gets broken, is the majority. Is however big the majority is. Okay, so what in the word is going on? So what is the difference between a gadol and a katan? Says the Bar Tanura that when is that true? Begadol, a regular oven. Yes, we agree. In a regular oven, hasui lafot uditzlot bo, like that's used to bake and roast. Ava bekatan hasui litinokot litzachabo. It's like a little like baby oven. I guess the baby ovens, could heat up also. Tchilato kolshu, it could be even any amount. He says not any amount. The batzir mi tefach lo, it's never less than a tefach. So the baby oven, I think Rabbi Posen has a picture. Yeah, your little baby oven. Okay, right. So this is the normal oven, and this is the baby oven. So it has to be at least 4. This has to be at least 1 tefach. It was shiarav, and when we learned, and it's shiarav rubo, it has to be the majority. What is going on? So the Bar Tanura says, the Gemara in Chulin says the following. If it starts with the minimum of a tefach, then what in the world are you left with? Umeshane, so the Gemara says, Hai ushiyarav birubo, this line, shirav birubo, agadol kai. So it's not talking about, so therefore the Chachamim say, when is that true? Bigadol, it has to be 4 tefach in the beginning. But with a katan, with a small oven, yes, chilatol kol shehu. And then, if it's a big oven, shiarav is rubo. So the Gemara says, umishani, the Gemara answers. Habitanur bar shiv'ah, habitanur bar tisha. Meaning the Chachamim say, yes, we agree with Rabbi Meir, shiarav arba'ah, when the oven was tisha. When the oven started at 9, all you need is 4 left. But shiarav rubo, when it started at 7, all you need is shiarav rubo. And that's what the Gemara says. Okay, Kolomar bar shiva. If it's 7 tfachim, if it started out, shiarav rubo, you only need a little more than 3.5, 3.6. Ava bidelo ava arba. Even though it's not 4 tfachim high, and tanur bachot me arba'a. and the tanur can't be less than 4. So we have a little chart here. Okay, tanur shel shiva tvachim. But Meir always says 4. Chachamim say yes. If it was tisha tvachim, then it's 4. That's what the Gemara says. But if it's shiva tvachim, 7 tvachim, then all it has to be is 3.6, i.e., it can be less than 4. And that's the way the Gemara explains this line, aval bekatan shiarav rubo. The shiarav rubo is out of place, and it's going to explain the Chachamim's position against Rabbi Meir. Says the Mishnah, there's like a little language issue. It doesn't flow. Mishtigamer melachto. And when is the oven mekabel tuma? When it's digamer melachto, when it's complete, when you finish making it. Eze gemar melachto. So what's complete? Meaning, when is the oven obviously hard enough? When is it considered done? When is it completed? When is the work on it completed? Mishe yasi kenu. You're going to burn the oven. So how much does it have to be burned? Hardened. Is when you harden it, kidei le'efoko sufganim, enough to bake sufganim. Sufganim are like sufganim in modern times are jelly donuts, but sufganim then were like pancakes. As about sufganim are pat sheblilata raka. It's a bread. Blila raka means, very important term. We see that in Shabbat also. Blila raka means it's a soft mixture. I.e., blila ava is dough. Blila raka is like pancake batter. Hasuya kisvog, it's made like a sponge. It's enough to cook it. You don't have to cook it a lot. It needs a little. So therefore, it's a small amount of burning in the oven. Rabbi Yehuda says, Mishiasik et chadash. You have to burn, meaning you have to heat up the new oven. Kidei le'efod b'yashan sufganim. How much would you have to heat up an old oven, a used oven, in order to make sufganim? Much, much, much less. So therefore, an old oven, you just heat up a teeny bit, and you could already make your pancakes. So that same amount, if you heated up the new oven, even though it's not enough to make pancakes on the new oven, still enough to call Gemar Melacha. We'll stop here. Dedicate our learning to remember my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.